Yeah. Mahogany Monogamy, episode 1, Raw and Jessica. Today's topic of discussion is black hair. And I'm going to take this thing away, then I'm going to pass the rock to my wife. You know what I'm saying? She a heck of a point guard, a heck of a post, really. And basically, when it comes to black hair, the history on it, man, you do your own research. You know, try to check your boy if he's wrong or whatever. The black hair, the crown, the European crown is designed after the black hair. The way it's pointed up and all that. My man Dr. York said some people call it kinky, but he calls it kingly. And a lot of times, you know, in church we sing about a crown that we trying to get after we pass away. Well, we getting our crown right now. You know what I'm saying? Just like the brother Bob Marley or whoever else. Basically, you can do whatever you want with your hair, but black people is the only people in the world that have this kinky hair. This hair that like wool, which is described in the Bible as the hair that the Messiah had. The hair like wool. The black people was the only people that had that, so that's a gift from God. And some people see it as a curse. Me and my wife lived our life I had bald hairstyle. That's what I call it. Whenever you getting a fade or you getting a one, that's bald, man. Any other race, that's bald. You scared to show the kinks. You scared to let it grow up. And my wife, she went through her whole transition. She had a relaxer. She had it pressed. And it caused a lot of problems for her hair. And basically, we're going to break it down to you as to what made us have these decisions. And we're going to try to give you the basics, the core beliefs of why we do this and why we own what we own. And we on this path, we just ain't going back. And it's a lot of us out here, black people, especially in these days. It's like the 70s all over, but this time it ain't no hairstyle. This time it's a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put it right there, give it to my wife, and then we're going to come back and I'll drop off some more on you.
Okay, to give my opinion and feedback about our subject of black hair, I'm not going to speak too much about a historical aspect because I don't know exactly everything, but I was going to speak from more a personal note. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, or I just posted a few, I transitioned and went back to natural because we all start out natural. Went back to natural and cut off all the relaxed ends on New Year's Eve of 2008. And since then, I've really enjoyed having my natural hair. It kind of makes you feel like, why didn't I do this sooner? It's just a real exhilarating thing when you're cutting off all that dead hair, when you realize it's not doing anything for you. And us women, if you're watching this video, you know some things you can go through when you're getting your hair relaxed. And what makes you think that it's okay when the person who's doing your hair has to wear gloves? And if it's not safe for their skin, how is it going to be safe for your scalp? And once somebody told me that, once I saw that, I was like, that is so true. There is no denying any part of that. And so when I try to share that with other people, depending on who it is, they either agree with me or they're just like, well, anyway, nobody really wants to talk about it. But for me personally, and what I've seen in other videos on YouTube, it's just a very, people really just enjoy being themselves, and you kind of have an epiphany. You're like, oh, this is me, and you never see yourself until you are yourself. So with relationships, just being yourself, you have to be true to yourself before you can even move further with that. So that's something me and my husband have discovered. We've been married for about 6 months now, 6 months yesterday. And that's just something that we've learned over the past few months. And educate yourself on yourself, because who else can tell you about who you are? That's all I have right now. Thanks.
All right, right back to the historical aspect. When you look at the history of the black hair, first of all, when the blacks was taken into slavery, they were made to pick cotton. Cotton has a texture just like the hair, and it made the blacks hate their hair. So that's when they went to doing all these things, pressing their hair, doing whatever they can do. You see in the movie X, they put the conch on there. The black men, the black women, they was conking it up. and the chemicals were even harsher than the chemicals we have today. The chemicals supposed to go through what they go through, but it's still, you leave it on there too long, you're gonna burn your head right up. You leave it on your edges without the Vaseline, dupe, S-curl, men's, women, it don't matter. You're gonna burn it right up. Have a hole and everything, scabs and everything. We got pictures on the YouTube, head done, all the hair done fell out the person's hair. You know what I'm saying? And this is crazy. But people want to look at us crazy because we growing ours out, or my wife crazy. But with the fellas though, black and white, they love my white hair. And basically that's everybody. I'm not going to sit here and buttercoat this thing for you. You love that natural hair. You love that. But it's layers on top of that. And when you go look at magazines, they say that's not right to have a fro. You know, even black women want blonde hair nowadays. When you know somebody black one with some blonde hair. So we keeping it all the way real. But the history went all up until the 70s. We was perming it up. In the 70s, we had fros. That was the thing. That was in. Afro was in. But what happened is that was a hairstyle. My mother had a fro. You know what I'm saying? Many of our mothers and fathers have fros, and they permed up right now today. So it was a hairstyle. And you watch these advertisements on television and different things that's coming back. The blacks is reclaiming their natural hair. We not on that no more. So I'm just asking you to catch up. It's '09, baby. So we definitely coming with it. That's the historical aspect, and I'll swing that back to my wife.
Alright, I'm back. I was sitting here trying to think of some other subjects to talk about, and my husband reminded me that I can speak about the condition that I acquired basically from having a relaxer, and as well as my transition period. So I'll speak on those things briefly. As you'll notice if you've seen one of my first hair journey videos, I speak of that I got alopecia areata whenever I had a relaxer for a couple years. And if you're not familiar with that, it's a hair loss condition, and it can occur on the scalp mainly. And so I was in junior high school, I believe, when I first got this, and the first time I remember it, I had just gotten my hair done, and we had gone to an event where an arena in my hometown was about to be open. So we went to go check it out, and I had my hair up, and some of the hair that was coming out of the gel, coming unspritzed or whatever, I felt like this real smooth spot on my head. And so I knew I had to do something about that. My mom noticed it. It was just really scary. And so basically what I had to do was go to a dermatologist. I got these injections in my head with a needle that was supposed to increase my hair growth. And I was on biotin. I was taking a lot of pills, and it was just a really scary time for me, and I knew something's not right about getting my hair done like this. So to speed up some time moving forward, my transition period, I transitioned from, my last relaxer was in July of 2008, and my big chop was in December. And during that time, I did 2-strand twists. The two textures was just, it was hard to keep up with. So I did 2-strand twists. And it was good for, my new growth, but once it got to the relaxed hair, it was just kind of like, what? It still stayed wavy, but my transition period, it was hard to deal with the two textures, but, that time is going to come when you're going to have to cut your hair off. But that's just a little bit I wanted to share about my experience, and just stay tuned for more. Back to us.
MahoganyMonogamy, take 1, black hair. We're probably gonna do part 2 and part 3 of this one here, but definitely arm yourself with knowledge, get your head right, and once your head right, then your hair will be right. That's a reflection of that. If you got dandruff, use that blue, Selsun blue. Also moisturize your hair, put plenty of oil in your hair. Stay away from mineral oils, products that have mineral oils. And to keep it all the way natural, you can go on as natural as use olive oil on your hair. You can use coconut oil on your hair, but keep it natural. Mahogany Monogamy, baby. Peace.